Okay. Hi everyone. I want to talk about a recent messed up job experience I've had because I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos on this subject, and quite frankly, I've had a lot of these incidents in the recent past, which is kind of weird given that it seems like after I graduated college is when most of the messed up job experiences have actually happened versus when I was in college or in high school. Like you're working retail jobs, and yeah, they're not the greatest, but they definitely don't have the impact on you like real jobs, let's say, do. So, I'm gonna go into the most recent messed up job experience I've had because I've had like 3 or 4, and I'm probably going to go into each in depth, but this one is the most recent, so I definitely want to tell you guys about this because I don't know, guys, it's real out there. The job market is effed up. Like, I'm just going to say it like bluntly, it's effed up. People are just effed up. Like, what I've gathered is that like people that have like stayed, sorry, my hair, I'm trying to not mess with my hair because it's a freaking bad habit, and I'm sorry. But okay, so I've realized that most of the extremely like toxic employees that I've had to deal with are people that have been there for years and years, and it's almost like everyone just accepts their toxic behavior. Like, it's like, oh, that's just, Stacy, or that's just John, it's like, but do you understand the impact that this is having, like, on the entire company, and especially new employees? Like, it's just messed up that companies don't, like, even care. Like, they don't care to, like, look into what's happening in the trenches. Like, the trenches is what I consider like grunt work, or like, like maybe not like grunt work, but like the lower echelons of business. Okay, so below managerial positions is what I'm saying. So it's unbelievable. So this last place I worked at, I had actually worked there previously for like 4 or 5 years, a few years ago. So, if that makes sense. And it was fine. But, so I try to like ration in my mind, like, why did that happen? Like, why was it fine before? And then when I come back a couple years later, like, shit hits the fan and it's just like, not okay. The reason I came up in my mind is that I grew a lot. I wasn't like taking as much shit from people. I wasn't like easily being like controlled and manipulated like I maybe was before, and they didn't like it. Okay, so they probably accepted me back on the basis that I was like the same person I was when I left, which I wasn't. Like, I know I have grown a lot considering all the shit that I've been through. And I'll, like, I try to learn a lesson from every bad experience that I have. And so that's probably why. So I want to get into some of the things that I've experienced in horrible workplaces. I feel like it's important because this shit's an epidemic. You go to college for how many years, and then you go in the workplace as a, like, I guess, naive person. A lot of us go in, like, very naive, not realizing, like, what we're getting ourselves into. And then we're in for a world of hurt, basically. You're never gonna be prepared unless you have to go through this shit. So, alright, so I'm gonna get into, like, alright. So in the beginning, like, everything was fine. Like, nothing was really, like, amiss. Everything seemed like normal. I knew everybody basically in my department because I had worked with them previously, so I was like, alright, this is gonna be fine. Like, I had a couple like really toxic jobs right before that, so I'm like, alright, this is gonna be awesome because I'm gonna have like a stable job, and I already know all these people that I've already worked with all of them. So they know me, they get me, they're not gonna like mess with me, right? Like they respected me previously probably because I was naive and they were able to like manipulate me. So I get there, right? Now, before I left previously, I was like a star employee, okay? I was like the top-notch person in my department. Sorry, my IKEA chair, bad. So I had actually written like a whole, I don't know really what you call it. There's like a specific term for it, but it's like an instruction booklet for like designated instructions on how to do certain processes in a specific department. So I did that because my boss had asked me to before I left, and I'm a really good writer. I'm able to convey things in a very professional way. I'm not trying to be conceited, but I'm just able to sort of like put into words exactly how to do things. You know, I did screenshots. I'm very good with grammar. I'm very good with just writing things professionally. That's basically like my biggest like strong point is writing. This job had nothing to do with writing, but so that's where I did really well with that. I totally forgot. I didn't forget, but I wasn't thinking about that when I came back a couple of years later. But when I came back a couple of years later, I had to get like retrained or like trained in like certain processes that had like changed a bit. So this girl that was previously below me, I mean, we were all sort of the same job title, but she had obviously been there longer now because I'd been gone, and so she was the one to be training me, and I knew that she has a huge ego. Huge ego. The type of person that's not humble at all. Like, I'm actually humble. It may not seem like it, but I'm extremely humble. I'm not the type of person that is petty and bitchy. So I was just like, all right, let's just get through this. You know, she'll train me and then I'll be on my way. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal. So she gives me this book, right? And I'm like looking at, it's a huge binder, like this thick, no joke, this thick binder, like purchasing guidelines or something. Like, she really went all out. Like, after I left and I had written that one that I wrote, I don't know if somebody told her to do this or if she just did it on her own, because this girl was always extremely jealous of me, okay? Very jealous of me. She had like told me things. It was just extremely obvious that she was jealous of me, but now she had like way more seniority. I don't even know the word. She had way more time there than me, so like she was gonna be basically like above me anyway, so she had nothing to worry about. But regardless, she had done this entire book, like this thick, no joke, of all these processes, and I was just like, whoa. Like, very rarely does anyone even new come into the department. It's very rare. Like, so I don't even know why that book was written, but anyways, it was written regardless, and it was this thick. And so I start looking through it, and a lot of it was like stuff that I had wrote. She added a lot of jargon and a lot of like fluff words and bulks to make it look way, you know what I mean? Like, when I wrote it, I made it seem like it was like, I made it as short as possible to get to the point. Like, I try to get to the point. I'm not trying to like sit there and like make people sift through shit to like get instructions, but like, I don't know what it is. I think she literally took my instructions and like, I don't know, she basically, okay, let's just put it this way. She tried to make what I did and like make it way better and way more superior. And, like, it was almost like she wanted to give me a slap in the face when, like, she gave me the book. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. Like, I think it seemed like super planned. A lot of the things that have happened when I went back, like, they were super planned, like, to make me feel bad or something. And I was just like, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm not here to, like, take over the department or anything. It's almost like they thought I was. Like, no, dude. Like, I just want a job. Like, I want to do other things on the side. Like, this isn't my life. Like, you know, obviously they didn't know that, but I wasn't taking it super seriously like that, you know? But, I don't know, maybe they thought I was gonna and they were threatened. But, regardless, this girl that did that previously, I had a very extensive LinkedIn profile. Very extensive. I worked like a lot on it, and like I said, I write really well. She copied my LinkedIn profile for that job because we have the same job title. She copied it word for word and like changed a couple words. Like, I know, like, she probably put it in Microsoft Word and just like a couple, like every couple words, like went to synonyms and like just put it in a synonym. I know she did because she doesn't write that well. Like, she copied my LinkedIn profile. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you don't have writing skills, that's fine, but like, alright, like, just own it. Like, if that, it is what it is. But then, like, this girl proceeds to, like, try to treat me like shit on top of all of that, you know? It's just like, dude, what is your actual problem, you know? So, like, I remember when I first started again, and, you know, I wanted to, like, be cool with people. I didn't want to, like, have drama, but, of course, you know, that's basically not possible, you know? So, you know, I go there, like, my first couple days, I'm like, good morning. I didn't say it, like, I said it, like, how I would normally say it. You know, I'm real. I'm not, like, fake at all. Especially, like, I'm just not fake. So I was like, good morning, and she's like, morning. Like, I'm like, oh, great, you know? So I already knew right off the bat, like, shit wasn't gonna be okay, you know? But I'm like, dude, why the hell did they hire me back? Like, why would they want me back if this is how they're gonna treat me, you know? It's just like, oh, god damn it, like, another freaking experience like this again? Like, why can't I just work with, like, freaking balanced people? Like, why is it every place I go, they're just, like, threatened by nothing because I'm not, like, even trying to do anything? Like, I'm literally not, I don't even care, you know? But it is what it is. That's what happened. And, you know, I'm just, like, you know, trying to do my job, and, like, I knew she was, like, sort of the ringleader at this point because she had been there, like, not the longest, but she was, like, she was the ringleader, you know? And so I would literally try to be, like, cool with her, be, like, complimenting her on her clothes and stuff like that, but, like, I don't know, I guess it just was not enough, you know? It just wasn't enough. Like, she must have made the decision in her head that, like, she was out for blood. Like, she was out for blood, no matter what. Like, it didn't matter, like, what I did, because she was gonna get me back for whatever, you know? It's just like, what did I actually do, though? I think she just hated me, like, when I previously worked there. And I think a lot of them did. I don't know what exactly I did. I think I was just an overachiever. It's hard for, you know, guys, it's hard for me not to be an overachiever in a job. It's either, like, I'm an overachiever or I just literally don't care. And it's, like, it's one or the other for me. I can't, like, I don't know what, like, the middle ground is. And to be an overachiever, I don't mean, like, oh, I'm like, working, like, late or, like, coming in early. I don't mean that. I just mean I'm really just trying to get it and, like, do the best I can to my ability. That's it. That's all I mean. And I also, one thing I want to say is I do not suck up. I do not suck up. I do not brown nose. I don't do any of that. So I think that's another reason why I always get marked everywhere I go, is because I don't play along with the politics. And so I just don't. Like, I am not that type of person, and I don't, like, honestly, you guys, I don't even know how. Like, I don't even, it's not natural to me to do that. Like, I've listened to the audiobook, like, 48 Laws of Power, The Art of War, and stuff like that. So, like, try and, like, get the upper hand, but it's like, that does not come natural to me. It doesn't, like, I'm just myself. I'm very, like, chill. I don't mess with people. I'm not trying to be, like, a manager either, so it's just, like, why is this still happening? I think from what I've, like, read and, like, things that videos I've watched is, like, almost like it's worse in the lower levels, actually, because they're trying to prop themselves up. But anyways, I have the substance, but I feel like I lack the, charisma or, like, the ability to, like, suck up and stuff. And I think that definitely is something that holds me back, but nevertheless, it's just not something that comes natural to me. I'm not good at it. And so rather than, like, try and fail, I just kind of, like, keep to myself and just try and do my job. And every single time it bites me in the ass. Every single time. So, you know, I was still trying to get along with people and be cool with people, because I had a lot in common with people that I worked with, surprisingly. Like, the guy that worked next to me, I knew him also previously from a previous employment there, and we got along. Granted, we didn't talk that much, but now we were next to each other, so it was more of a close proximity to each other. And he was kind of like, I guess you'd say, like, a position lower than me. So maybe he was already threatened. I don't freaking know. But I tried to be cool with him because I literally wanted to just be cool with people. But, like, it did not happen. So, like, I'm a huge video game nerd. I love video games. I love PS4. So, and I know the guy next to me did it as well. So I would, like, try and talk to him about, like, video games and stuff like that. And, like, I was a pretty, like, big nerd in high school, and I think he was too. So, you know, I'd, like, try to relate to him on certain things. But even so, like, even in the beginning when nothing, like, he should have liked me or, like, whatever, he was still, like, throwing in these digs. Like, every time we had a conversation with each other, he would still throw in these, like, little digs. Like, it was, like, really weird, and it would, like, bring me down, totally. Like, Gmail had changed recently. I don't know if you guys know, but, like, their Gmail format had, like, recently changed, and it got, like, more, I don't know what you'd call it, like, I actually liked the change. It was more organized. So we were, like, talking about it, and he was like, yeah, you can have, like, add-ons and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was, like, looking through the add-ons, and I, like, found a couple, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, this will make me more organized and, like, stuff like that. And then I found this other one. I was like, oh, look, all these, like, emojis. And he was like, yeah, that's so useful. Like, so bitchy about it, though. And he's a dude. And I was like, oh, shit, like, what the hell? Like, you know, like, stuff like that. Or, like, you know, like, it's just weird. Like, what is your... why do you have an issue with me? I don't understand, you know? But it would be like everyone would do that shit with me. Like, everybody in the department was doing that with me, and I'm just like, what did I do? Like, I'm not even, like, trying to suck up. I'm not trying that hard. I'm just, like, doing my job, you know? Like, they were, I don't know, it was just super weird, you guys. It's super weird. It's like... And then, like, the one girl, like, she has a lot of friends, I guess, in the company. I don't know if I would call them friends. I think a lot of those people, I hate to say it, but I don't even think they like themselves. So I certainly don't think they like other people if they don't even like themselves. So I would say they have a lot of, like, they have a posse or, like, acquaintances, because if you don't like yourself, then you definitely don't like other people. That's what I've sort of gathered. but like she would be like in the kitchen or like the lunchroom like at the same time as me with her posse or her like friends, and they would like conveniently like arrange themselves like right by the door like when I was like coming out or whatever, and like 3 or 4 of them at a time, and I don't know the other girls and they look very, I don't know, I'm kind of like a meek, humble person, to be honest, like, and I have a lot of anxiety. I don't really like, I don't know, I'm not the one to like go up to a group of girls that I don't know, especially given like past experiences I've had in high school and with friends and just, you know, so, but they gathered themselves like right like where I was, and like I could tell they expected me to like be like, hey guys, you know, they wanted me to like try and like fit into them, but I wasn't having it, and I sort of like walked right past. I said, oh hey, what are you guys up to, or something, something like very like vague, and then I was just like, oh hey, it was like a Friday or something. I was like, oh hey, happy Friday guys, like hope you have a good day, something like that, okay? And then I just kept walking, something to where I didn't have to stop and like talk, but it was like polite, and they were like miffed about it. I could just tell it, but legitimately it seemed like a Mean Girls situation. Like that's the first thing I thought, like when I was getting my tea, or I was making my tea, and I saw them like gather themselves right there, and I was like, dude, this looks like a Mean Girls, like this looks like straight out of Mean Girls. They were just like waiting for me, and I was like, dude, I'm not the one, you know? Like I'm nothing like you guys, like I'm not gonna sit here and gossip. I'm not a gossip. I don't know what you guys want from me, you know? And so, I don't know, it was a couple of these experiences that like I think just contributed to the whole, they just did not like me, you know, like I don't know what they expected, because I was never the type of person that was like that, so but it escalated, like shit got really bad. My boss would like tell me to do things and then like yell at me for doing the thing that he told me to do. You know, like people would be extremely rude to me, and like people would actually touch me, which like made me extremely uncomfortable. Like like salespeople or whatever like would come up to me and be like, oh hey, like when's this coming in? And like a dude would, they would like touch my shoulder or something, or like try and intimidate me, and it was like starting to get to the point where it was wearing me down, okay? Because I'm not the type of person that like lets that shit go. So and it got to the point where I felt like it was like very, they were like plotting and scheming, and I don't mean to sound paranoid, because it was super weird. This one other girl that was in a different department, that was like, the department was like more of like a mechanical, like rough and tumble, I guess, department, and like more of a hands-on thing, right? But she still had like ties with our department, and I had to like communicate with her. But this girl like wouldn't communicate with me over email like she would previously, before I even got there. She would want to come right up to my cubicle, and she would try this girl. Okay, so let me try and describe her, because I feel like it adds context to the situation. This girl was like a little bit older than me, pretty overweight. Not that that matters, but it adds context, and like probably unhappy. I don't know. Okay, so it's almost like she wanted me to bow down to her. I'm just like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I'm already you know, I obviously didn't say this, but it's like, do you not freaking get it? Like, I'm going through all this shit, right? Like, do you honestly think I'm gonna sit here and like be like, oh, like, what can I do for you? Like, oh my gosh, like, let me like bow down, like, oh, you know, like, no, dude. Like, if you're gonna treat me like shit, like, you're gonna get it back, you know? And so this girl would come up to me like all acting. It was like acting, I honestly feel. Oops, my necklace. I feel like it was like a lot of acting with this person. She was like a big part of the reason I was like, dude, F this job. So this girl would come up to me and be like, oh, like already right off the bat, oh my god, like I got blah blah blah, I got the wrong item, like you need it, like you have to do like blah blah blah, like that tone, okay? Like, and then I'd be like, well, can you, you know, did it A, B, C, and D? And she'd be like, no, like blah, like this sort of tone back and forth, because I'd be like legitimately asking questions. She'd be like, no, like, you know, and this girl's just like literally this close to me, okay, like let's say this is a cubicle, right, and let's say I'm facing that way, she's like, you know, she's like over me and like this close to me, like trying to intimidate me. Like, I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on? Like, she'd come over and be like, look what I got. I'm like, first of all, you're not my boss. Second of all, chill the F out. Third of all, you're crazy. Fourth of all, I know you're just doing this because you want to take your aggression out on me. It's just like, and then like she would, like where I came out of the office, like when I was leaving for the day, like I'd have to walk a little bit to get to my car. And this girl, the girl I was just talking about, where she'd be able to see, I guess, if she was watching, like when she'd be able to see me like walking in the parking lot. And a couple times she literally came out with another guy. Like when she saw me, she like followed me and she's like, hey, blah blah blah, to like asking me questions. And I'm just like, oh my god, like this is nuts. Like, she's following me in the parking lot, this girl, okay? And I mean, it's just like, you guys, it's so much more than this even. Like, I can't believe I stayed there that long. I stayed there for like 6 or 8 months or something. Like, they were just like at the point where they're trying to like piss me off all the time. Like, everybody's trying to piss me off. Like, ostracizing me, like ignoring me. And they're all like completely lame, stupid ass people. Like, lame. They're like, these people were one-dimensional people, you know? And I think there's something about me that people just don't like, or just can't stand, that I don't like bow down to them or something. And they loved like looking right at me, like to see if they were affecting me too. That was like disgusting me towards the end, when I would like, I don't know, they would say things like amongst themselves, like, oh, like, I can't believe she did, like trying to like get me to like be like, oh my god, what are they saying, you know? But I knew it was like about me. And like, I'd go to the bathroom and then like come back and they'd be like staring at me to see if like I was like affected by it or something. Like, yeah. Like, this is legitimately like psychotic. People are psychotic. So there's a lot more also. I mean, I honestly would not even be able to say the entirety of this experience even in like an hour video, but this is already almost half an hour, so I'm gonna, I guess, cut it short here. But maybe I'll go into like specific tactics in another video of like collectively things that have happened to me. But this is sort of an intro video or something. So yeah, I really feel for all you guys that are out there that are going through all this shit. Like, it's not in our nature to sort of like be bitchy or be like that type of way, and I think that's what they're sort of banking on. That's sort of like why they do the things that they do, because they know that it's almost like they have this figured out, and that's why they do the things that they do. And so, like, I feel like, okay, so it stopped. Yeah, so I feel like every day I'm sort of getting more and more, like, wise on people's tactics and stuff like that. You know, you sort of have to learn these people to be able to, like, deal with them. So I just wanted to, like, go into that. And you guys, I have so many more experiences of, like, friends, family members, neighbors, co-workers, bosses, strangers that have just done effed up shit to me. And it's just like, what can I do to actually avoid this stuff? Like I try to ask myself, like, what can I do to, like, thwart this shit? And it's just like, I could be a bitch, I've tried that. I could be non-reactive, I've tried that. You know, it's just like, nothing really works. You know, it's just like, it's almost like they're gonna do it regardless. So it's like, I don't know. But anyways, you guys, I have so many more stories which I want to get into. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day, and please like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.